Are you into large-scale aircraft? I'm talking aerobatics or scale? Well, stay tuned. Welcome back to Flat Out RC. Now today I've got a treat for you, but before I get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe down below to this channel so that we can keep on building and bringing you these great videos. Now, this video is brought to you by Model Flight. Model Flight is a retailer here in Australia that sells all good things from brands such as Hangar 9, Seagull, Phoenix, OS Engines, Dual Sky, you name it, they've got everything. So jump online, www.modelflight.com.au. Now, speaking of Model Flight and gas motors, this is a gas motor that the team at Model Flight just sent me to take a look at. It's an OS GT120T 120cc gas motor. So as I said earlier, if you're into large scale aerobatics or scale planes, this is an engine that you should be looking at. Now, if you've been around the hobby for a while, you know the kind of quality that OS offers, that Japanese quality that we've come to know and trust over many, many years now, many years. So first of all, let's take a look at the fit and finish. Okay, fit and finish of the OS engine is beautiful. Now, what you can see is it's a machined crankcase, nice and shiny, which is just immaculate. It really, truly is a work of art. You can see some of the machining lines still in there in that crankcase, but the lines are so smooth. It's enabled them to really try to reduce the weight of the motor by moving to that sort of machined crankcase. The heads are cast, so twin cylinder, so twin cast head cylinders. What I really have noticed is, if you, I don't know where you can see it, but inside of the exhaust ports here, you can see they put some bracing to really strengthen that whole motor up. So it's amazing, the fit and finish. Everything is nice, nicely put together. Now, when it comes to carbies, we know that Walbro carbies are used quite a lot in gas motors. Well, this actually doesn't have a Walbro. It's got a Tillotson carburetor. Now, you may not have heard of Tillotson, but you have if you've been into go-karting, because they make race carburetors and stuff like that. They come from Ireland. It's not a Chinese manufactured product or Japanese or anything. It's coming straight from Ireland, and they are a specialist carby manufacturer. And of course, they're making carbies of this size for other like lawn mowing applications and whippersnippers and things like that. But this carby looks the job. Tillotson carby from Ireland. Now, mufflers. The motor does not come with mufflers, but from what we can tell, same as a DLE 120. So you should be able to buy headers, and you're probably going to use canisters anyway to keep this motor nice and quiet, because we all know that 120cc's can bark a bit. But overall, from a fit and finish perspective, I give the OS GT 120T a 9 out of 10. Next, we're going to take a look at the ignition module. Now, the ignition module here is an OS developed solution. Some really great features of this OS ignition module. First of all, it's really compact, nice and lightweight, traditional plugs, everything that you need. A few other things though. It's got some safety built into it. The motor will not start unless you get over 150 revs per minute. So you're not going to accidentally start this motor. The other great thing that I like about this ignition module is it's high voltage compatible. So that means you don't need to run any regulation. You can run a 2, even up to a 3S battery, but I'll probably run a 2S LiPo as an example, can be plugged straight into this ignition module and power this beautiful OS GT 120T motor. Performance of the motor. Well, that's what it's all about. We all want to know, how does this motor perform? Well, to start off with, OS are claiming that this motor puts out 9.86 horsepower at 7,000 revs. It will run up to 8,000 revs as its workable range. All these figures are dependent on a lot of different factors. We see a lot of manufacturers pump out horsepower figures, but it's just so many variables, such as the prop that you're using, the style of prop that you're using, you name it. But what we're talking about is something that's right up there with all the other major brands of 120cc's that are out on the market. But speaking of props, you can run anything from sort of that 27-inch range right up to that 29 range, 29 by 10. What we find is a lot of people with these 120cc's are using either something like a 29 by 9 for that sort of slower 3D style. If you want a bit more speed, you're getting up to around 2711s, 2712 kind of props. Always recommend a wood or a carbon prop. Carbon prop is my preference, but I always also recommend that as well. Don't even think about putting a plastic prop on this beast. It will just blow it apart. So a good quality wood or carbon, nicely balanced prop is perfect for this motor. So really, we're talking about something that can match a lot of the other solutions that are out there on the market. From a weight perspective, I was really interested. I actually put it on the scales before. I've got my scales over here, and I put on the scales, and it came out just for the engine alone at around 2.3 kilos roughly. All right, so that's really competitive. Now I'm just going to grab my scales. I'm going to just weigh the ignition module here. I'll just turn this on, put that on there. 146 grams, the ignition module. So all in all, again, we're looking at a pretty competitive package here from a performance perspective and a weight perspective. So where do I see this motor being used? Well, I see it being used in aerobatic applications, in that 120cc size airframe range. I've seen some videos of this motor in some planes. We haven't had a chance to run it, but seen it run in some motors, and it's really providing plenty of power, more than enough than the average punter's going to need to scoot around the sky. Why would I buy the OS? Well, a couple of reasons. One, I always recommend motors that you can get local support from. If you can't get local support from, then it's going to be harder for you to fix your engine if something does go wrong. And we're lucky through Model Flight, they will support the OS range of motors. And the other thing with this motor is that quality. You know that you get an OS quality, so you know that it's going to be reliable. You know that you're going to be able to get spare parts locally, so that is a big plus. Now, if you're into scale applications, this motor is suitable as well. Again, it's going to give you just as much performance as any other motor that's out there on the market. I suppose the biggest advantage of this is really the quality. The quality of an OS engine. You look at the motor mount here. Now that mounting is similar to the DLE size as well. So they're working to the standard really that most 120cc engine manufacturers are working towards, including with prop hubs and things like that. But this motor mounting system, it's a work of art. We're talking about great quality here from OS. So there you have it, the OS GT 120T 120cc gasser motor, great for those aerobatic applications, large scale planes. This should be a motor that you should be checking out next time you're in the market for a 120cc gasser. And of course, you can grab it from modelflight.com.au and they will support this motor as well. So thanks to Model Flight for supporting this video, and get out there, take a look, OS GT 120T.